All right, let's see. All right, let's see. Let me send this link out. Mm, 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 mm. New live link. All right, we're gonna begin part two of this O-line class. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, part two. Share, post. Let's see, investors. All right, good. I'm finna send out this link. I don't know what happened to the internet. Link. I'm about to work on that right there. Hey, how you doing? Hey, thank you so much, Vestas. Hey, what was the last thing I was speaking on? Oh my. Okay, we coming back in here. All right, Vestas. I don't know exactly what happened. Everything froze, but I'm glad that you have come back. Let me go ahead and send out this notification. And I hope everybody. Okay, good. All right. So I was speaking on. Gosh, what was I speaking on? Because I saw the notification across the screen regarding the internet. So sorry about that. Let me go ahead and put this back on here. All right. I'll wait for some investors to come back into this room. As of now, if you're coming back into the room, they are still on the field drills. They're still on the field drills for the first group of the O-line, or the O-line. Let's see here. All right, my investors coming back up in here. That's what I like to see. So based off how they've been cutting up the groups, let me see. I've seen probably got a second group of another 20. And as of now, they're just showing highlight clips of the combine prospects. David Bailey, bringing up David Bailey. We just talked about that young man. Yeah, highlights on him. Let me go ahead and take some of these phones. Talking about the Senior Bowl. All right. Was today. Especially he Anchor from the Arizona State Sun Devils. Woo! Blistering fast he ran a 4.91, 491 in the 40, along with Spencer Fano. So that's two that we need to watch, and we also need to watch Malik Bell from the University of Miami. He ran a 5.50, no 5.0 for his height and speed. As of now, they're doing another field drill called short pull and fold. Hey, Grim Creeper, are you still able to see me? Are you still hear me? YouTube is alerting the investors and viewers that I went back live. All right, yes. Okay, good. Thank you so much. Markel Bell now is showing his skills regarding short pull and fold. He is, that's like a shack on the field. So they're just running through these drills. Let me see if the NFL has highlighted or updated their. I had to completely go out and come back in. You're definitely putting them on blast. And yes, it's funny. I got you, Faith. Thank you so much, Faith. Oh, let me go ahead and pull up some of these speeds. Now, since they're running that, I want to go ahead and bring up some of the defensive tackle speeds that I recorded this week, because this is why a lot of these NFL teams, along with the Cleveland Browns, along with the Arizona Cardinals, along with the Titans and the Texans, they'll be looking at some of these offensive line members prospects also because of these blazing speeds from the tackles. Let me get my notes. Because today we are vested up. They're still running drills. I definitely need to see all of these prospects' wingspans and how much they're going to bench. All right, here's some of the speeds for the defensive linemen. That defensive lineman. Let me go 420. Hey, it's still buffering a little bit. All right, let me go ahead and stop sharing the screen then. Stop sharing. All right. Hey, thank you 420 for finding me again. So let me go ahead and discover some of it. So if you're just coming into the room 420 and anybody else that's watching, they're still just showcasing some of the field skills, having them run different little obstacles and seeing how they're handling their feet, their coordination, their balance, and so forth. So we already talked about some of the speeds. So just to remind anyone, it's his best time, and we have a player by the name of Max Anchor from the Arizona State Sun Devils. He also ran a 4.91. So I was just discussing before the internet hijacked the first live. I was just so Fano allowed 0 sacks this year. Whoo! He allowed 0 sacks this year in the last 746 games. Let me write that down. Good gracious, Fano. For this year alone, he allowed 0 sacks in 746 pass attempts. Just, I definitely need to watch that. Andrew Berry. Go ahead and lock in Spencer Fano. I don't know what you can do legally, but good gracious, Fano. Hey, Tony, that's what I'm talking about, Faith. Thank you so much. Hey, Faith, if you just coming in, they're still running the field drills. And let me tell you what I just saw. Oh, hold on. Max Hanker, his PFF is 78.3. Okay. Max Anchor. Now, Faith, if you just coming into if you just coming in and you didn't hear me make this statement regarding Fano was doing a small field drill right now, and in 746 pass attempts, Fano allowed 0 sacks. Good gracious. If I was them GM and head coaches and offensive coordinators that I'm pretty sure that's in Indianapolis today, everybody is probably around Fano. Let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you one thing. This is what I haven't said in my lives. I've seen players run like blistering speeds in their 40s and did not participate in the second attempt or in the field drills. And based off what I've seen Fano do regarding those speeds and including Max Anchor, I was buffering. No, I think it was me. This is a second link. I think this is a second link, Faith. So I think it was my internet because I saw a message come on that my internet was unstable. So I don't know what's going on. I may have to call Xfinity tomorrow because the amount of money that I'm paying, I shouldn't even buffer even in my sleep. You hear what I'm saying? So I will be calling Xfinity tomorrow, maybe after this live here, after the second group run, because I definitely want to get those speeds to find out what's going on. What is going on? But let me tell you this here, Faith and everybody else regarding Fano, besides that blistering 40 that he ran today, I saw a sack come across the screen and I was like, we got to get him. We have to get him. In 746 pass attempts, Fano has allowed 0 sacks. We got to get him. We got to get him in number 6. Okay, if he's on the board at the 6th pick, yes, I'll snatch him, or Styles or down. If not, get a wide receiver. Well, based off what I'm seeing today, let's say if another team, hold on, we already called out this team. They are still running drills. So I got time. I got time to look today. The Titans is looking for O-line members. The Texans is looking for O-line members. We also got the Patriots. The Patriots is looking for O-line members. Because y'all remember, yeah, what's his name? Drake May. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, internet. Okay. Y'all still with me? Can somebody just give me a thumbs up? Just give me a thumbs up. Don't do it. Oh no, don't no. Okay, so based off, please. Okay, good. All right, thank you. So based off, okay, so based off the teams that are still looking for O-line members, let me see what pick they have. We have the okay, so these are the teams that we're looking at in players. We got the Patriots, Tennessee Titans, the Cleveland Browns. Of course, we know about the Cleveland Browns. Okay, the Jacksonville Jaguar, they're looking for a right guard. And Giants. Oh, yeah, Jackson Dart. He been sacked. Yeah, Jackson Dart been sacked too this year. Now, let's see in terms of order. Let's see if some of these teams are ahead of us in terms of the NFL draft order this year. Let's see. Because we may need to jump up. Even though we're sitting at 6, we may need to jump up to get like a Fano. And that's what I will address now. So as of now, the Raiders first choice. They're not. Well, yeah, they are looking for. The Raiders are looking for O-line members. The Jets is second. Cardinals is also looking for O-line members. Ah, you're right. Tennessee Titans are number 4. They're looking for an O-line member. The Giants are 5. They're looking for an O-line member. And then, of course, 6. And we definitely know that the Giants, we definitely know that the Tennessee Titans and the Raiders. So the Raiders, so one thing about the Raiders, they may get Mendoza. So if that's the case, we're going to take them off the board in terms of looking for an O-line member. But we still need to worry about Cardinals at 3, Titans at 4, Giants at 5, and then we're number 6. So it's going to be a battle. To get a Fano. Ooh, will the Cleveland Browns do that? I can't see them giving up. I can't see the Browns giving up both of their number 1 draft picks just to get Fano in the first round. That means we'll be going without a wide receiver in the first round, and we definitely need to get a wide receiver for the first round. Cleveland Browns need all the help we can get. I know that's the truth. I know. But based off how this NFL draft lineup is, if nobody trades up, I think we're going to miss out on a Fano. We're going to miss out on a Max he anchor, and we'll probably miss out on that Markel Bell. God, everybody ahead of us, minus the Jets, because they're looking for a quarterback. Everybody else ahead of us is looking for O-line members. That's why I need to see exactly what this second group of O-line members are going to run. Because we may be able to get a Markel Bell 6'9", running a 5.5, and 346 pounds. That is a freight train. I've never seen a freight train before. That could probably be, well, they didn't say it, but if he's not the tallest NFL player prospect ever been assessed at the combine, he'll definitely be at the top of all O-line members. 6'9", that's basketball height. Let's see here. Hey, Grim Creeper 420, can you just put something in? Hey, Anthony, how you doing, Anthony? Yeah, sorry for coming in here. The first live that I had, the internet went out, so this is the second live. So thank you for coming in here. If you was in the first live, thank you for returning and finding me. Because we breaking down these numbers today, and we can't wait to the second group. In order to complete this year, we cannot afford to have. You're right. We have to. We have to, Faith. And based off what I said in that first live, if the Cleveland Browns want to show the fans, especially the season ticket holders, especially all their stakeholders and their opponents, if they want to show that they're serious about this year, the first pick they get at number 6, or if they trade up, needs to be an offensive tackle. The one straight up in the middle, or a guard. But Fano is a left tackle. So that's what we need. Left tackle. That's what we need. Now, Mono, the one that they were talking about before the combine that may go ahead of Fano, because Fano name came up later in the year. the first O-line tackle they were tracking, his name, God, what was his name? I know his last name. I'm trying to call out of his first name, but his last name is Monagoa. Monagoa. His time was not as good, but he is a left tackle. So I mean, who knows? In rookie minicamp, just like Shedeur Sanders. So let's just say they go with a Monagano, and I'm messing up his name. So forgive me for that. But let's just say they know he needs more work on his speed. Just like Shedeur Sanders reported to the Cleveland Browns after the draft, these players, especially on the O-line, if they need to work on their speed, they definitely can report early to the Cleveland Browns Berea, that locker room that has a D minus. Okay, the head coach last year had a C minus. Kevin Stefanski should not have survived that time in Cleveland Browns, but we're going to go ahead and let it go because Kevin Stefanski now is the Atlanta Falcons issue. But if these players, especially the O-line, if they need to work on their speed, they need to report early, directly after the draft. Of course, they're going to have rookie mini camp and they can work on their speed. So we have hope. But where we're sitting at in the draft, without me pulling that up to see what teams need an O-line, now I'm scared. Fano may be off the board unless we trade up, and Mark Bell may be off the board. Ooh, what if Mark Bell go to one of our out of these teams, none of these teams are in our division. But still, whoever get Markel Bell from the University of Miami, 6'9", 346 pounds, can run a 5.5 and a 40. You better watch out. Whatever division, whatever team gets Markel Bell and whatever their opponents are in that division, they need to be afraid. They need to be very afraid. And depending on how that team utilizes him, they better be the only person they will not be afraid is that quarterback. Whoever is behind Markel Bell will be safe. Whatever quarterback is behind Fano will be safe. Fano allowed 0 sacks. That's what I'm talking about. I like that. Enrique Cruz Jr., I will say he's another good prospect. Another good prospect. They actually have some pretty good O-line members. We got a lot to choose from. It just depends on what team get them and how they're going to utilize them. And based off this right here, like I said, the title is just O-line. I don't know who's tackles, and I know Fano is a tackle. I don't know who's a center. Markel Bell probably is a center, and I don't know who. And I know Managoa is a left tackle. We have a few people on the roster that are able to compete, but we need to absolutely faith. In terms of that O-line, let me go ahead and bring that up again. I don't think it's nobody that can compete. If the Cleveland Browns was to keep the current O-line members, and I'm gonna go over this again. If Joe Battino was still on the roster, compete against the defensive tackles that participated this year, his time only beat 7 of them. That's how fast these defensive tackles are. In terms of edge rushers, 0. In terms of Teller, if he had to compete against any of the defensive tackles and the edge rushers this year, he would beat none of them. None. In terms of the center, Pollock, in terms of defensive tackle, his time only beat 1 defensive tackle time this year, and that could have been because of technique. In terms of edge rushers, 0. Conklin, he's a little faster than anyone else. But just remember, Conklin was suspect here. Get rid of him too. Just get rid of him. Just clean the house. Of the defensive tackles this year, he only beat 13 that participated in the combine and 4 edge rushers. That's pretty good. His time whenever he participated in the combine was a 4.80. And Willis, based off his time, he only beat 4 defensive tackles and 0 edge rushers. Cam Robinson, his time only beat 1 defensive tackle, 0 edge rushers. See, this is the issue this year. Them edge rushers, that's what I was gonna do. Not on the O-line, just speaking. Yes. Not speaking on the team in general. We have no O-line as far. Yeah. Now the wide receivers have some good prospects. Let me call out these edge rushers time. This is why no one on the Cleveland Browns can beat these edge rushers coming out. Let me go ahead and pull up. Okay, I'm just gonna go down the list of they ran in order and listen to the times that all of these edge rushers. I think it was 19 that participated. Edge rushers that participated. We had a speed of 4.85. This is David Bailey's time of 4.51 as an edge. Okay. Then he had a 4.65 or 4.64. His speed matches Myles Garrett's speed. Danny Dennis Sultan. They also had a George Gumbus. He was only 0.01 behind Myles Garrett with 4.66. We also had a Romel Height. His time matched Myles Garrett. Okay. In terms of a Cassius Howell, he ran a 440. I'm gonna say a 460. He beat Myles Garrett. Hutchinson, 474. Then we had a 470, 488, 453. That's Malachi Lawrence. We definitely need to watch him. Malachi Lawrence, he ran a 4.53. Then we had a 481, 454. We had a 487, 468, 479, 467, 474, and a 490 in terms of edge rushers. Yeah. 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 So, and based off all these times here, none of the offensive line members that we saw in Group 1 beats those times, but there's a lot of players that close to it. Oh, and let me bring up KC Concepcion. KC Concepcion did not participate in the combine this year. He did not participate in the combine this year, so I'm assuming he's going to do his pro day. The reason I said that about Barry keeping his job because his pick hit. Oh, yeah. Okay. Pick hit and Shedeur was the steal that made up for the 230 guaranteed when Shedeur gets done. Come on, Fake. Let's talk about it. They think that Deshaun Watson got paid in terms of quarterback. You wait till that's if the Cleveland Browns is able to coach Shedeur Sanders in staying. So let's just be honest. Shedeur Sanders, when it comes to him ringing up or re-signing with the Cleveland Browns, do you know how many other teams are going to come after Shedeur Sanders? It's no guarantee that he's going to stick with the Cleveland Browns in terms of getting his second rookie year contract. In terms of his second year contract, based off all the discussions that we had in the live, Shedeur Sanders' second year NFL contract is going to be so massive that a lot of teams, plus the Cleveland Browns, will be after Shedeur Sanders to sign with them. The Cleveland Browns is not sitting comfortable. Shedeur Sanders is a Cleveland Brown now only because of his current rookie contract. But after that, who's to say that Shedeur Sanders may decide to go to another team after his rookie contract? So Cleveland Browns, they're not secure in maintaining or keeping Shedeur Sanders as their quarterback, because as like Shedeur Sanders, just like all of these businesses, the GMs, these owners, they consider all factors, right? So let's just be honest. They consider all factors, right? He may become the new owner. I get you. I do get you for 20. He may become the new owner. But we have to consider, just like these owners and these GMs are able to consider all things that have happened with a player, these players also have the liberty to consider all things that have happened with them doing a contract. So the Cleveland Browns is not guaranteed to have Shedeur after year 4. Now, what the Cleveland Browns can do, which is an advantage to them, based off that live I did regarding the PPE and the current incentives in the NFLPA collective bargaining agreement, the Cleveland Browns can go ahead and give Shedeur a second year contract year 3, which is going into year 3, which is next year, the following year, going to next 4. That's the only advantage Cleveland Browns have in terms of keeping Shedeur Sanders. Okay. All right, this is Spencer Fano. They still doing field drills. This is the mirror drill. They're looking at his foot actions and coordinations. Man, Fano is blistering the field. All right, here's Monroe feeling. Oh, he slipped. Start over. Come on now, get your shoes right. Come on, get your shoes right. This is Monroe Freeling from Georgia. They're doing the mirror field drill. And he's slipping. What's wrong? Come on, sweetie. Come on, get y'all shoes together. Warm up. They should have been on the field checking these shoes. And this is the Indianapolis Colts field, and it's one of those turfs. What are these players coming? Are they coming from a school where they're used to running in the grass and not turfs? I don't know what's going on. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Anthony Vance. That's exactly what I'm talking about. In order for the Cleveland Browns to keep Shedeur Sanders a Cleveland Browns quarterback, before that windows open up, they're gonna have to franchise him at the beginning of his 3rd year or at the end of his 3rd year before he goes into that 4th year. If the Cleveland Browns be foolish and do not franchise tag him going into before that 4th round, the floodgates are going to be open. The floodgates are going to be open for Shedeur Sanders. And guess what? We here for it. We here for it, investors. We here for it. We here for it. And so we still got time because they're running these field drills. So let me talk about this franchise tag thing that I come to find out. I really thought as a casual fan before the Shedeur Sanders saga happened, I really thought the franchise tag thing was actually something to marvel at, and I actually saw it as a benefit. But that was before I found out exactly what it means. A lot of players do not like to get franchised or get that tag on them because remember, before the Pro Bowl, George Pickens, he was looking to leave the Cowboys, right? But Jerry Jones saw, and Jerry Jones already knew what type of player he had in Pickens. He just thought that he was going to wait him out just like he did what's his name, Michael Parsons. But the hype around the hype around George Pickens in the Pro Bowl, when everybody was able to focus on the Pro Bowl and see his skills, it was like a week or two later. That's when what's his name, Jerry Jones, put that franchise tag on Pickens. And one thing I don't like about the franchise tag, that means that they get a good quality player and they're able to pay them less than allowing him to go to another team and get his money up. That's the only thing I hate. I hate about the franchise tag now. That's why, and that I really, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. And I hope you can hear me. When I found out the how much better it would have been for Shedeur Sanders to not get drafted in the 5th round and actually become a free agent, I kicked myself. After the 5th round, I'm like everybody else that knew more about when I heard the Shannon Sharps, when I heard the Ocho Cinco, when I heard the Michael Irvins talk, when I heard Debo and Joe talk, Shedeur Sanders would have been in a better situation in terms of financial gains if he would have went undrafted free agent, because he would have been able to try out for any team across the NFL and get more money versus that little penny contract he got with the Cleveland Browns, 4 years for $4.6 million. We already did the background. Shedeur Sanders, out of that let's say 1.2 million that he went home with this year, and especially after the Pro Bowl, Shedeur Sanders probably went home. He probably cleared about $300,000 this year, if that, because we went over the California taxes. After they treated Shedeur like they did, Shedeur and Shilo could go and create a league on their own. Yep, that's what my girl, what she said, sports had talked about. I'm gonna say in July and August time frame. So if you hear any other content creator, talks about Shilo and Shedeur Sanders starting their own league. Just know that came from what she said, Sports First, because she was the first one that was advocating for these players, including Shedeur Sanders and Shilo Sanders, to start their own league along with along with Deion Sanders. She's the first one I ever heard. Now, I did hear some other commentators after that, so I don't know if they heard her talking point or heard her concept and theory behind that, but I agree with that. I agree with that. And don't be surprised. Please don't be surprised. I would not be surprised if Deion Sanders is working with someone or some entity behind the scenes to start up, his own league. Who you just never know what's going on behind the scenes, okay? You definitely know what's going on. Definitely don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Shedeur gave away more money. Yes, Faith. Yes, Faith. Yes, Faith. He did. He did. But Shedeur Sanders has always had a very kind heart. And if you're coming into the room, they're still doing field drills for the first group of offensive tackles. So I think they're already halfway through there, and then they should start on the second group runtime, depending on the other skill drills they may have these players go through. So we shall see. And the intent is to actually watch the second group of run times, because I definitely want to see what their run times will be. It's time, and I will support it big time. I'm trying to tell you. Oh yeah, most definitely. See, that's another reason. That's another reason. It's two things that the NFL did. The two things that NFL did, they messed their stuff up regarding this thing. They should have just drafted Shedeur Sanders where he's supposed to have been drafted and treated him accordingly. Do you know how many channels, because the way that the NFL did Shedeur Sanders, do you know how many additional channels popped up on the scene and started calling out the NFL? My channel is one. There was so many other channels now that the NFL has to deal with regarding reporting on the NFL, especially the Cleveland Browns. Kevin Stefanski, if how the NFL did Shedeur Sanders, let's say 200,000, let's say 200 more channels popped up because of how the NFL did Shedeur Sanders. But when Kevin Stefanski started treating Shedeur Sanders like that, let's say an additional 600 channels popped up just to report on the Cleveland Browns. That's why they had to get away and fire Kevin Stefanski, because he definitely was a liability. He was not a good coach. His first coaching job was the Cleveland Browns. Okay, let's go ahead and put it out there. Let's go ahead and put it out there. He is talking. Who is he talking to? So Kevin Stefanski was definitely a liability to the Cleveland Browns, and they had to get rid of him. And like I said, Emmanuel Acho, shout out to him because he made that happen. And as you know, it worked out to Kevin Stefanski in terms, but it did not work out in terms of Kevin Stefanski, because Kevin Stefanski is about to enter the gates of hell in Atlanta as the Atlanta Falcons head coach, because they ain't putting up with that, and they already let it be known that they waiting for Kevin Stefanski to make the wrong mistake, and it's over for Kevin Stefanski. Okay, so let's see here. We'll put back on my music. Okay, I think they finna move to the second field drill, but I hope they finna start the second group of the offensive line members. But the based off the times that I recorded for the defensive defensive tackles, I'm gonna say out of all the defensive tackles we've seen today, only two or three have better times than those defensive tackles. We got a problem in Houston. We have a problem in Houston. So we shall see. We shall see. We shall see. Let's see. Get back to my yeah. Yeah, but this O-line, even though they turned out some good times, look at these times. Let me go ahead and remind you of these times that I'm seeing across the board for the defensive tackles. The NFL made a huge mistake and Stefanski faced. Yes. Let me tell you, Kevin Stefanski. Woo! Kevin Stefanski. I'm dealing with it, Faith. I'm dealing with it, Faith. But as the day go on, I'm getting better. Okay? I will say that as the day getting on, I'm getting better. Especially when I heard that boo yesterday. It did something in my spirit. It made me feel better. It kind of lifted the burden off my chest when I heard people boo Kevin Stefanski. That let me know that we are not the only ones that had an issue with Kevin Stefanski. They had other fans across the NFL and the collegiate world that had an issue with Kevin Stefanski, because the ones that booed Kevin Stefanski was not a GM or a head coach or an owner. Those boos came from the fans in the stands. So congratulations. I feel a little bit better because it lets me know that we, the ones that love Shedeur Sanders, we're not in an echo chamber. We are not alone out here on some islands. You hear what I'm saying? Could have been some Cleveland Brown fans in that audience, but I still going to give them the benefit of the doubt and said it was other fans, and maybe along with the Shedeur fans or Cleveland Browns fans. But I will say this. It just did something to my spirit when I heard them boos ring out. You hear what I'm saying? They had to cut it. They had to let me get off that. But some of the highest. Now let's get back on track, okay? We know that the highest, best times today from the O-line tackles or O-line members in group 1 is 9.91. The second best time was 4.933. The third highest run time, third best time was 4.95. Let me read these speeds again in terms of the tackles. Okay. Now, within mind, 491, 493, 495. We had a 4.85, 4.51, 4.65, 4.64, 4.64, 460, 474, 470, 480. 450, 481, 454, 487, 469, 478, 467, 460, 464, and 490 as a defensive tackles. All of the defensive tackles beat the best run times for group 1 offensive tackles. Do you see why we got a problem? Sorry for the late. Now you good. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? The times are incredible. This is awesome. All the defensive tackles in this year combine has beat all of the offensive tackles in group 1. We got a problem, Houston. We got a problem. See, this is why I said all of the NFL quarterbacks need to be scared along with Shedeur Sanders. So that's just the tackles. They're running another commercial. So let me call out the edge times. Now, trust me, the edge times are faster than the defensive tackles. If you didn't watch the live, let me go ahead and run down the list of the edge times. So just let me summary. None of the offensive linemen that we saw today in group 1 time beats any other defensive tackles that participated in this year's combine. Okay, hold on. Let me get my music, because I love my music. I like my little background music. All right, so here are the defensive edge times. Defensive edge times, and I'm going down the list. And as you know, we had David Bailey had a runtime of 5:51. I gotta highlight him. Ruben Bain did not run. He is still clocked to be the second edge that comes off the board, if not the first edge. So here's the list of edge times, okay? Why? Make sure you hit the like button. Okay, thank you. Yes. Come on with it. Come on with it. Come on with it. Come on with it. Make sure you hit the like. They make them have to go to work. No lazy playing. They better step up. Let me tell you one thing. Yes, Faith. So here's the list of the edge times of all all the prospects that participated this year, because none of the offensive tackles so far has beat any of the defensive tackles. Here we go. These are the edge times that participated this year. We got a 4.85, 451, 465, 466, 464, 464, 460, 474, 470, 488, 453, 481, 454, 487, 468, 479, 467, 474, and 490. There it is. So if you thought the defensive tackles was fast, the edges are coming even faster. And they come around them corners. They coming around them corners. And see, the reason why, if you don't know, I didn't know. So let me just be honest, until this year, until I start studying football and start looking at these lines and defensive lines, this is what I learned fast. These edges, the Myles Garrett, you want someone to come off those edges that quick, because you could collapse that pocket. And if you could collapse that pocket around that quarterback, the only place that he can go is up the middle. And then if he goes up the middle, that's when those tackles get hit in the chest. Remember that Chicago game when those edges was collapsing the pocket? Either Shedeur Sanders was flushed out or had to go up the middle, hit him straight in the. It was one play, man. I thought they hit Shedeur Sanders. I thought they took his breath out when those defensive tackles came up directly up the middle, because that pocket has collapsed, hit him directly in the chest. Woo, Kevin Stefanski. He really was playing with Shedeur Sanders. Whoo. His body, his health. Shedeur Sanders really could have got hurt. Cam Ward could have got hurt. Geno Smith could have got hurt. And Jackson Dart got hurt. How many concussions Jackson Dart had this year? What, 2 or 3? One time Jackson Dart, he missed games because he got hit so hard. Outstanding. Let me tell you one thing. Shedeur Sanders easily could have been a Jackson Dart that had 2 or 3 concussions this year. You see what I'm saying? Let me see how many concussions that Jackson Dart had this year. They are still running field drills. So let's see here. How many concussions? Oh, so you know what? Let's talk about Tua first. Tua has had 4 documented concussions in 2020 since 2019. Do you see the shape that Tua is in? Because that O-line was weak. Do you see the condition that Tua is in? Andrew Berry. That's why I say Andrew Berry, Jimmy Haslam. The first position they need to focus on is that O-line in the draft. That will let us know, Shedeur Sanders know, the fans know, and all the stakeholders know that they are serious. They're serious this year about being a contender. We don't want Tua. We don't want Shedeur Sanders to become a Tua. We don't want Shedeur Sanders to become a Jackson Dart. Let me see how many concussions Jackson Dart had. Jackson Dart missed games. And guess what? You know what? It just crossed my mind. Even though the Cleveland Browns had a, yes, ma'am, the CT is the most proud. Yep. The Giants, my squad, have a Dart. Jackson had. Oh, and Jackson Dart, he had to leave. He it was several weeks he was on the sidelines. So, and it just crossed my mind. Besides the Epstein files and the Giants owner being associated with that, do you know if Shedeur Sanders would have been drafted to the Giants, he probably would have been a Jackson Dart, because they did need an O-line. So Shedeur Sanders could have had concussion. He could have been placed in concussion protocol 2, 5 this year. Yeah, Jackson Dart had 5 this year. 5 this year. That could have been Shedeur Sanders. So God worked it out. Even though Shedeur Sanders still had a trash O-line in Cleveland, it would have been much worse in the New York Giants. God is protecting. Amen. We cannot never factor that in. God's protection over Shedeur Sanders, because even with the Cleveland Browns, Shedeur Sanders was hit many times this year, right? So I give all praise and glory to God. Okay. All praise is glory to God in Shedeur Sanders' life and also our lives, because God is doing it for us too. What? What is I don't want nothing else to interfere. Let me put a do not disturb on this. Okay, I got it. Not to mention his mental. Listen, Donna C. I don't know when you became a Vesta and subscribed to this channel, but I did a video in November discussing two video Shedeur Sanders mental health, mental issues that he probably was dealing with behind the scenes, and also a video on the social annihilation that Kevin Stefanski was putting Shedeur Sanders in. Based off the research that I did, that can have a lifetime. That can present a lifetime mental issues, even if Sanders continues to grow and move forward, he will always remember this in the back of his mind on how he was treated. So I'm pretty sure Shedeur Sanders, in his last game, when he was playing against the Cincinnati's, he was alluding to a lot of the mental issues that he was dealing with this year, and that he had to overcome. So yeah, the mental trauma is there. Thank God that God made it a way for Shedeur Sanders to relieve some of that mental pressure, because it was mounting up. And then also, let's not forget that last game Shedeur Sanders played in against the Cincinnati Bengals. Remember, in that post-game conference, Shedeur Sanders, they was asking him, hey, what was wrong with you in the first half? Remember, Shedeur Sanders said he was dealing with a lot of mental stuff. Remember when Shedeur Sanders tripped over his own feet when he dropped back in the first half? I said, what? I said, Shedeur, what you doing, Shedeur? As a CU auntie, I keep it real over here. I said, Shedeur Sanders, what are you doing? He dropped back and he tripped over his own feet. I said, you know what? I did a live on that. I think that was my first or second live. I said, Shedeur Sanders, look, I know you like putting on new cleats for these games. I said, but if you're gonna do that, at least break them in 2 or 3 days before the game. But then after the post game media conference, that's when he alluded to what was going on. He was going through mental things. He didn't specifically say what those were, but I'm pretty sure he was dealing with a lot of pressure. Probably anguish and everything else. Okay. But God, mercy, glory, protection, spiritual. Just thank you, God. Just thank you, God, for everything that you have done in Shedeur Sanders' life and our lives. I think my audience, we have the same type of spirit. And if you don't, in terms of a spiritual wellness, anything, hey, if this part of the live is not for you, hey, I understand, just mute it out or whatever. But I cannot talk about the greatness of God. I cannot omit that in my lives or in my videos. And if you have subscribed to this channel, you have already seen that from me. But I give all glory to God in all situations. That's why Shedeur Sanders always said, in all things, thank you, God, for everything, the good and the bad. Okay. Hey, Vestas, yes. Okay, yes. Shedeur Sanders is great. I'm so proud of Shilo. Yeah, so let's talk about Shilo. Because I think now they're finna start. Okay, so Vestas and viewers, guess what? They're finna start the second group in terms of the 40s. But right now they're still interviewing the players. So I've been watching the combine for the last 3 days, and I know exactly what they're doing. So they're talking to the players because they've finished their drills, and the second set is probably warming up in the background or changing clothes or just warming up. So we got some more time to talk, but I think that second set will probably start running about 10 to 15 minutes. So we got time to talk. So going to Shilo. So going to Shilo, if you have not watched that live that I did on Shilo Sanders, and guess what? A lot of people did, because I think that video is still getting views. Thank you, investors and viewers and everybody that tuned in. That video has topped over for a small channel like mine. I have, what, 2,500 views on that video regarding Shilo Sanders, and broken down in terms of how I compared Shilo Sanders stats and runtime to the safeties and the DBs that participated this year. Now, based off the runtime alone, Shilo Sanders has a hill to climb if other teams are looking, well, let me put it like this. If other teams put a high priority on the 40 runs in terms of the DBs and the safeties, the group that Shilo Sanders would have to compete in, Shilo Sanders' time was only better than 3 DBs total. Okay, let me find that paper here. But and this is what I told the other viewers and investors that caught that live. A lot of teams, they consider the 40, but then they don't put that much weight on it, right? They look at your experience, they look at your other stats, and we have to remember that Shilo Sanders, before he broke his arm in 2024, Shilo Sanders was second in the nation in terms of forced fumbles. So free agency, after the combine, free agency talks start. You might as well say they start now, okay? But early negotiations cannot take place before March the 9th. I guess that's next weekend. No, next week, because next weekend is the 14th. And contracts cannot actually be signed until March the 11th. Starting next week, this is when we're going to be watching the channels, the news, to see what team has offered Shilo Sanders an undrafted free agent contract. Now guess what? Just by me watching these lives and paying attention to the notes and doing some homeworks, free agency contracts can happen throughout the year. I called out 2 players for the Cleveland Browns that got undrafted free agent contracts in December last year. Tight ends, and it also was I forgot who the other player is. So even if Shilo Sanders does not get picked up as an undrafted free agent, let's say before the draft, it can happen after the draft. It can happen over the summer. It can happen after the pregame. It can happen anytime this year. So Shilo Sanders, if he wants to play football, it's still hope for him despite his time. As I stated, the defensive tackles, the edges, the DBs, and the safeties, they have gotten much faster. So the time that he put up in Pro Day 4.52, he only beat three times. 3 players times this year. Yes, Shilo and Deion Jr. has been great. Yes, praying for all the players. We're definitely praying for all the players. Cam, Dar, or Tyler could not withstand. And you know what, 420? I'm glad you brought that up. And then I'm gonna call out these times for these DBs, okay? Now, if they go ahead and pick up a Ty Simpson, the second quarterback, they pick up Mendoza as number 1, guess what? Just like Shedeur, you're entering in the NFL and you're going to teams, especially if they have a very low number in terms of the draft. That means that they have the worst teams in the NFL. That means you also have to consider the line. Now, the Raiders, they need a quarterback and they also need an offensive line, right? So if they take Mendoza at number 1, guess what they still have to address in the draft? They still have to address that O-line. So let's just say they don't address that O-line the way they should because they only got so many picks. Guess what? They are going to experience what Shedeur Sanders had to learn and all the other rookies that had to learn in this year's rookie year. If you don't have an O-line in the NFL, you're not going to be successful unless you are a Shedeur Sanders who had to deal with this in college. That is what set Shedeur Sanders apart from all the other rookies. What Shedeur Sanders had to deal with in Cleveland, he already had that taste in Colorado for 2 to 3 years. All right, y'all. Hold on. We finna start the runs again for the second set of O-line members. I was giving him some love for holding down his brother Shedeur. That's right. Yeah. Oh, that's what you said. Yes. Oh, yeah. Shilo has been a great brother. That's right. Oh, yeah. And that's why I think God has also given him favor. He's already protected. And I'm pretty sure something is going to come down the line for Shilo if he wants to play. All right. The first, Logan Jones. He's an O-line member. He ran. Wow. He's starting off with a 4.94. All right, investors and viewers, we finna get back to homework. And then we're going to continue this commentary. They already starting hot. Okay, here we go. This is Caleb Lomu. Lomu, he's 6'6", 313. This is somebody else that all the teams are watching. Caleb Lomu from Utah. He's a teammate of Fano. Let's see what his run time is. Let's see what his 10 split is. And it's 40. 175. 5 seconds. Okay. He'll probably get faster on his second attempt. All right, that's Fannon's teammate. We got Blake Miller from Clemson, 6'6", 317 pounds. Clemson, Blake Miller, 6'6", 317. All right, let's see what his run time is. A little bit fast on the 10. Ooh, 509, but he slowed down. He slowed down. Do not slow down, young man. Run through. He actually had a better split time than Caleb Lomu, but he slowed down at the end. All right, here we go. We got Micah Morris, also from the Georgia Bulldogs. He is 5', 334 pounds. Micah Morris. Let's see what he puts up. I can tell you about that 10 if he's going to be fast or not. His 10-yard split is a 173. That's much faster. Let's see what that 40 going to be. 5'10", he slowed up too. I don't know. I think it's about technique. Do they not know not to slow down? But he is 334 pounds, so you have to consider that too. All right, we also have a Brian Parker. He's from Duke. North Carolina in the house. Grim Creeper. Don't spam my chat since North Carolina is in the house. He's from Duke, 6'5", 309 pounds. Oh, 10-yard split is slower. 5'14", I knew it. If that 10-yard split is not about a 170, that time is going to be in the fives. I have learned that. That's right. I was giving. Okay. He's not playing. Yeah. Caleb Lomu. All right, Diego Pounds from Mississippi. Ooh, he got I knew it. His split was 10 split was 182, and his time was 5:19. Diego Pounds, Ole Miss. So this, as of now, these times are actually slower. Normally, the second group in every position that I've seen throughout the combine, the second group is normally fast. So now we got Emmanuel Pregano from Oregon. Let's see what he puts up. He's 6'4", 314 pounds. Emmanuel Pregano, 6'4", 314 pounds. An ideal speed for the 10 yard split is probably about 170, 172. That'll get him like a 4 something in terms of run speed, 4.9 in terms of run speed. Let's see here. NC. Yeah, okay. Only because Jimmy Horn saving you, okay? Whoever you are. That's the only reason you're being saved over here. All right, 182. I'm gonna say, 182. He's gonna run about a 5. Ooh, 552. Yeah, this second group is much slower. But he also is 314 pounds, but they still average that weight. Actually, we had Michael Morris from Georgia. He was 334 pounds. His speed was better, 5'10". So we got a Kadyn Proctor from Alabama, 6'6", 352 pounds. Let's see what he runs. This is someone else a lot of people was talking about. Kadyn Proctor from Alabama, 6'6", 352 pounds. Let's see what that 10 is. Slower, but he's also 350. He 5'22". That's his time. Woo! Now, even though he ran a 5.22, comparing him to the young gentleman that ran Emmanuel Pragano, we're talking about a 40 pounds different, and he ran the same speed as someone that was 314 pounds. Good gracious. Gracious. And he had 2 feet more in height in terms of him. All right, so that's a commercial break. That 10-yard split, yes, it does make a difference. If that 10-yard split is low, that means overall your run time is low. So there's a commercial break. So in terms of the players that I was able to capture, we had a Caleb Lemu that is teammates with Fano. He ran a 5-second flat. 6'6", 313. We had a Micah Morris from Georgia. He's 6'5", 334 pounds. He ran a 5'10". So of course, the heavier you are, you're going to be a little bit more slower, but still, that's still impressive. Then we got a Brian Parker the second from Duke. He's 6'5", 309. He ran a 5'14", and a Diego Pounds. He ran a 5'19", and Emmanuel Pragano. He's 6'4", 314. Ran a 5'22". And Kadyn Proctor, no wonder, looking at his height and weight, no wonder he's on everybody's radar. He's 6'6", 352 pounds, and ran a 5.22. Jeez. I think he's the heaviest. Michael Bell is not even that heavier. Michael Bell is 6'9", 346 pounds. Kadyn Proctor is 352. Ah, jeez. I don't know what time did Michael Bell get. I'm about to look that up. Good gracious. I think Michael Bell got like a 5'5". If I'm not mistaken, I think that number is coming up in my head. That's a yes, that's a wild run. Yeah. That's a wild running. Definitely. That's a wild running. That's definitely a wild running. I'm not gonna mess with you. But I think I think Markel Bell, I know he's 6'9". I think it was 364 pounds. I think he ran a 5'5". So I think that's sticking in my head for a reason. It is still a commercial break, so stay with me. Commercial break. I'm about to scan all this in my system so I can track this around the draft. But I think Kel Bell ran a 550. I think it was 550. I would Google it, but I have learned over the course of the 3 days, the times that I'm calling out. Is this somebody new? So then I'm going back. So we had somebody. So Georgia Tech running Kalen Rutledge. 506. That big boy was running right there. I ain't catch his height and weight, but that big boy from Georgia Tech was running too. He ran a 506. We got a Juice Shelton from Penn. He ran a 180 split, 517. Yeah, this group much slower. But I am seeing regarding body composition, they are a little heavier in terms of okay, we got a 7'8" split, 514. Yeah, they got to get on about a 170, 172 to have that 4.9 type of time. We got a Bo Steffens. His split was 182. Yeah, he's a 536. I'm seeing a lot more. When Deion Sanders says the beef, I'm seeing a lot more beef on the second group. Logan Taylor. Oh, his split was 184. Yeah, he ran a 552. So maybe this is a different group of O-linemen. I don't know if these are the centers. We got a Dylan Wade from Auburn. Oh, he got a 174. Oh, 504. He pulled up though. So these could be centers or these could be guards. I don't know exactly what position they play. They just got them listed as an O-line. So I think that's why this group is much slower, because there are different type of players on the O-line. Kadyn Proctor. Yep, these guys are huge and fast. Yeah. So we got a Emil Wagner from Notre Dame. His split time was 179. He ran a 505. So these may be guards. These may be guards. These may be the tackles. I'll pull it up on a commercial break. Let me look up a name. We got a Carver Willis from Washington. I'm going to say Washington. He's 6'5", 303. Let me see what position he's playing, because they do group them like that in terms of the O-line. Carver Willis, Washington. Let's see what his position is. He's 6'5". I don't need it. It just says offensive lineman. They're in a 184, and his 40 is 5'14". Yeah, so it's a much slower group. Let's see him. Okay, who's next? Yeah, these guys here are much beefier than the first group that participated. All right, we got a Logan Jones. What is that school? I know that school. I can't call it right now. Okay. So here's the second attempt. The attempt was a 494. Is that a Hawkeye? Logan Jones' first run was 494. Here's his second run. Oh, he got faster. A 491. Oh, 491. Okay, so hey, we got 3 players. We got 3 offensive line members that have ran a 491. Logan Jones improved his time by 0.3. So we got a Logan Jones. Okay, here go Caleb Lomu. This is his second run. His first run was 5 flat. We got 3 players with 491. All right, here's Caleb Lomu second time. His first time, he's 6'6", 315. First time, 5 seconds flat. He didn't get out there quick enough. Yeah, I knew his time was gonna be much slower. It's only 5:01, so they're gonna keep his first time. But yeah, he's the first group that I did see in terms of body composition. That first group, whatever role they play, I'm assuming tackles, because Sprano is a tackle. They had more muscle mass. This group here has more, I'm gonna say, body fat in terms of how they're built. All right, we got Blake Miller. His first time was 5:09. He's off. He 5:04. He's actually sped up. They're going to keep that time, 5:04 for Blake Miller for Clemson. All right, the next one that should come up is Michael Morris from Georgia is up next. That Georgia Bulldog is up next. He is 6'5", 334 pounds. First time was 5'10". Let's see here. Awesome, good. These guys are fat. All right, yeah. We got 3 to 9.51. I'm sorry, 4.91. .91. 3 co-leaders. All right, Michael Morris. All right. Woo, he moving now. 5'10", same time. Woo! Ooh, I hate to see him come running. Now, his body composition, he was more even. He had muscle mass and just only a little bit more body fat than the first group. So you heard him running. You heard him come down that 40. I would use 5 picks just for the and I think that's what Kevin Stefanski is going to do. Brian Parker, the second from Duke, his first time was 5:14. Let's see what his second time would be. But Michael Morrison, you heard him coming. 5:20. His time was worse, so they're going to keep the first time. With Michael Morris, the one that just ran two prospects ago, you heard him coming. Even with this music playing, I still heard him coming down that track. Woo! Don't let him hit you. This is Diego Pounds to Ole Miss. First time was 5:19. $5.15. Okay, he increased his speed by 0.04. Okay, he increased. All right, Emmanuel Priano should be up next. Nope, I guess he decided not to run, so his time is going to stay as 5:22. Kadyn Proctor from Alabama is next. His first run time is 5:22. 5:22. This is that player, 6'6", 352 pounds. Let's see what he does. Here we go. And he's off. That's a big boy. He actually was a little slower, so they're going to keep 5.22. His second attempt was 5.25. Once again, that player, Kadyn Proctor, is 6', 352 pounds. 352 pounds, and his best time was 5.22. And they just showed a clip of him playing basketball, and with 352 pounds, he was able to get up and dunk that ball. Okay? He can get up with 352 pounds. And now it seems like it's going to be a commercial break, or is that it? They're finna go to a commercial break. Let me go ahead and read the comments, because that was a Proctor. He's a piece, so they may have a few more runners after him. Mike Morris. Yep, Mike Morris. Absolutely, I agree 100%. Let me tell you one thing. Michael, besides the run times, Michael Morris is something else we need to watch as a Cleveland Browns fans to protect Shedeur Sanders, because 334 pounds moving at 5'10". I'll take that. Also, he's from UGA. You know, Todd Monken has an association with UGA. And then also Kadyn Proctor at 6'6", 354 pounds, 352 pounds, the heaviest offensive line member we've seen so far, ran a 5.22. I'll take that. And remember, in the first attempt, there was a player ahead of him named Emmanuel Pragano. He was 2 feet shorter and about 40 pounds lighter, and he ran the same speed as that player. Kadyn Proctor. If we can get a Fano, if we could get Proctor, if we could get Malik Bell. Whoo, good gracious. Cleveland Browns. And get 2 of those good wide receivers. We definitely need a tight end. I discussed the tight ends yesterday. We definitely need another tight end. When I went over everything regarding those tight ends, besides Fannin and possibly Cornetto, everybody else was undrafted free agents with a bad history. When I say a bad history, they was passed around from team to team. So we got to save room to get at least tight ends. As to I say 3 more tight ends, because everybody else is an undrafted free agent. So we can move them around and put them on practice squad. But we definitely need 3 more tight ends, if not 4. We definitely need to pick some up in free undrafted free agency. That's better than the group of free agencies we have. And of course, we got to pick up the wide receivers. Yes. He said, yes. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. This right here. So have a commercial break. Okay, so let's go over these safety speeds. Like I said, getting back to Shilo Sanders. Even though his speed, last year's speed in terms of ranking, Shilo Sanders. Okay, hell, we got back to the 40s. Reed Adams for Texas A&M, he ran the same speed, 5.29. I'm pretty sure these players are the interior of the line, because like I said, they got a little bit more body fat. We got Kalen Rutledge from Georgia Tech. His first time was 5.06. He ran again 5.06. These have to be the interior lines, or maybe tackles. I'm not sure. Jake Slaughter from the Florida Gators. His first time was 5.14. He ran a 5.10, so he did improve on that. And then we got a Bo Steffens. I'm going to say Hawkeye. His first time was 5.36. His second time was 5.37. All right, Logan Taylor. I don't know what that school is. His first time was 5.24. 5.19. He improved. He actually did about 6.0 seconds faster. Got a Dylan Wade from Auburn. His first time was 5.04. His second time is 5.02. He actually improved by 0.02 seconds. Okay, Dylan Wade. We got Emil Wagner from Notre Dame. His first time was 5.05. And then we only got 1 more runner participating in this. Emil Wagner, first time for Notre Dame was 505. His second time is 502. Okay, he got faster by 0.03. Okay, and it's all about technique and how you start getting out that block. Now we got one more runner, Cardinal Willis from, I'm assuming, Washington. I just see a big purple W. 514, 514. Let's see what his second time is. And guess what? That'll be the end of the second group. And with that second group being so small, I don't think there's a third group. Everybody else that don't participate in the combine, even though they got an invite, they're probably going to save their showcase for the pro day. And if you don't know, based off what Faith told me today, I will. If I'm not on work, travel, and depending on the day and the time of that spring game, pro day, I got to look that up. Okay, Willis' time, first time was 514. His second time, he did improve 512. So it don't matter what these times are. These big boys are moving, and I wouldn't want to be in front of them. But we do have to consider the defensive tackle time and those edge times. Based off and this, guess what? If this is the last group to run today, and based off the size of the group, this is probably the last group that we'll run today. The offensive line, I don't care where these players go, they got to get faster because those offensive tackles and those edges are blistering fast. So shout out to all the defensive players that we did see in this combine, because all offensive tackles, rookie, prospects, veterans, they are on notice. These collegiate defensive tackle and edges, they finna put them on blast. So all NFL quarterbacks and O-line members, guards, tackles, centers, you on notice. And you heard it first from Tony Talks Vested Up. Let me tell you one thing. None of these O-line members that ran today beat any of those times that we just saw from the O-line members today. Will be any of those times that I recorded for the defensive tackle and edges. All NFL team O-lines are on notice. The defensive tackles and edges are coming for their quarterback this year. So dang, what was I going to say? God, I did it again, investors and viewers. I've done it again. Let me read the comments. Shilo ran. So 420. So 420, yes. So 420, yes. I've said that multiple times. Shilo Sanders 447 when he brought that company to Colorado to do his run time because he did not get an invite for the combine, right? Now in his pro day, 4.52, I have to, when I'm talking about this time, I have to discuss that time because that's the only time that the NFL recognized, because that time was the results of the NFL scouts coming out. So that's why I'm discussing Shiloh's time 4.52. I wish I could give him 4.47. Now, let's just say if we did consider that number, yes, Shilo Sanders was in the middle of the pack. He was in the middle of the pack with 4.47, but the NFL is not recognizing that number. They're recognizing the pro day 40 time, which was a 4.52. That is when Deion Sanders, if you notice that, Deion Sanders like, okay, son, I see you ran a 4.47. If you do that at your pro day, I'm going to give you the card. The reason why Deion Sanders did not give him the card because he ran a 4.52 on pro day. So that's the number I have to recognize. I know I was so hoping that his 4 time would be enough. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, hey, how you doing, Meter Lead? Let me tell you one thing. This is the part 2 of the live I was doing earlier. The internet, I don't know what happened, but after this, I'm definitely gonna call Xfinity to find out why I'm paying all this money and I can't get a steady streamline. So I don't know if family came in and they started tapping into all of their phones and stuff, but the money I'm paying in nothing. You know what I'm saying? But yes, a 4.5 is still good, but Meter, remember, and I know you caught that live when I was calling out those offensive tackles and edges times, it didn't compare. These boys are blistering. It didn't compare. It didn't compare. But yes, it is a good time. But when you're going against wide receivers, So think about it. Shilo Sanders would have to be he would be guarding wide receivers and tight ends. The tight end speeds are fast. The wide receiver times are fast this year. But if teams are just looking at in terms of his time compared to all of the college prospects coming out of college, that 5.42 is not cutting it no more if they only take that in factor, okay? But they got to look at Shilo. They got to look at Shilo as a holistic player because he is deadly. Yes, these players out here definitely had a faster time than Shilo, but who's not to say they're going to hit as hard as Shilo? Who's not going to say that they're going to have more passion on the field as Shilo? Shilo is a very passionate player. If Shilo Sanders is willing to knock himself out to get to that wide receiver tight end, I don't care if you got a 4.2. If you cannot tackle, if you don't have the passion of Shilo Sanders, that's the only thing you may have on him is a fast speed. But if you don't have the technique or the experience or the willing to wrap up and pull down, your speed is just speed on paper. I need you to perform. I need you to wrap up, pull down, get that ball out of his hand. And remember, Shilo Sanders, even in 2024, after he healed from that injury, he still was getting pick sixes. Shilo Sanders, he also can return pick sixes, okay? Yeah, she's going in and out. Oh man. Really? Oh God, what about now? Okay, Shilo is strong. Let me get off this right here. Shilo is strong. Let me get off this right here. Turn this off. Hey, what about now? Am I still going in and out? We got you? Okay, okay. Okay, we good. All right. But Shilo Sanders, if you didn't catch that piece, they may have the speed on Shilo Sanders, but if they don't have the techniques, if they don't have the passion, if they don't have the experience, you can have all the speed in the world, but these NFL teams want you to be able to have passion, intentions, and they want you to have the techniques to pull him down, okay? And the only difference, so let's put it out there. The reason why Shilo Sanders, the reason after he came back on the field when he injured his, let me make sure this Wi-Fi is turned off and this Wi-Fi is turned off. Okay, all of this is turned off. The reason why Shilo Sanders, he came back on the field too early. Shilo Sanders supposed to have, once he broke his forearm, he's supposed to have been recovering for at least 4 to 6 months, right? He returned back on the field in 30 something days. He was not fully healed, and you could tell by his performance because that arm was still healing and he was in pain. He was not wrapping up. He was missing tackles. So let's put it out there. Let's just put it out there. Headed Gang CEO has been a great football. Yes. But once he got a little bit more healed, that's when you saw Shilo Sanders tackling and doing what was necessary. Now, in the Buccaneers preseason games, I know he played in maybe the second game or the third game. In the third game, you know, that's when he got ejected from the game because of that Buffalo player, right? So I really didn't get to see Shilo Sanders showcase on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but with this year coming up, free agency coming up, hopefully we'll be able to see Shilo Sanders out there on the field again, and I'm praying for that, and I know you are praying for that also, that Shilo Sanders will be on the field this year, and we'll be able to see exactly what he needs to do. Remember when he said he wanted to go a week out after surgery? He was determined. I know, but it hindered his performance because he was not able to wrap up with that arm. He was not able to wrap up with that arm the way that he should have because he was nursing that arm. You could see sometimes when he went to tackle, he would protect that arm and try to pull down with one arm. You couldn't do that. So I really think if Shilo Sanders, I know this was his last year in college, but I think they still had the collusion against him. But let's just say if they didn't have the collusion against Shedeur Sanders, he still would have had a better draft pick if he did not play until he was let's say if he would have waited 90 days to play, of course the season would be over. But just like other players, a lot of players got injured in 2024. They did not play for the rest of the season, and they still was picked high. I mean, they understand injuries, but because Shilo Sanders rushed his return to the field, they was able to, and they knew he was injured, but based off the tape, he was not tackling properly. He was not stopping the run because he was favoring that arm and trying to protect that arm. Yes, Shilo, we pray you get to play. Most definitely. If he won't play. Now, Ford Jenkins, as you know, I have a memory. Ford Jenkins had stated in the comments section about 2 lives ago that, and maybe that was U420, I think it was U420, that Shilo said that he didn't want to play football no more and he just wanted to focus on music or podcasting. If that's the case, if that's the way Shilo wants to go, salute to Shilo. We don't have to worry about, going through the metrics and the stats to see how he compares to these prospects coming out of college. So we shall see. But we'll definitely know. Guess what, investors and viewers? We will definitely know, at least in the next 30 days, if a team is interested in Shilo Sanders in undrafted free agency, even for a practice squad, guess what? He'll still be on the practice squad. He'll still be getting paid NFL money. And guess what? He'll still be pursuing his dreams. And just like Cam the Shark, Simon Craig, just like BJ Green, just like BJ Green, they got on the Jacksonville Jaguars as undrafted free agent, and they was elevated at the end of the season. I'm going to say in the last 3 or 4 weeks of the NFL season, and actually got to be active roster. So just because the team gets Shilo Sanders as an undrafted free agent for practice squad, that does not mean he's going to stay a practice squad. He can be elevated depending on if other players are injured. So, hey, all I need is Shilo Sanders just to get that call and sign a contract. And I know once he get his foot in the door, it's all up here for Shilo Sanders, okay? When he was younger, it was on their show. Mention, okay, let's go back up. Remember, okay. They mentioned him in OTAs and Buccaneer, and the Steelers were interested. Yes. I thought and a lot of people thought once he got cut from the Buccaneers, the Steelers was going to pick him up. Easy. I thought so. Okay, he has many talents. His father got him. That's right. When he was younger. Oh yeah, and I played in my it was not a live. It's a video for Shilo Sanders. It was my birthday video to Shilo Sanders because I did a live for Shedeur. I did a video for Shedeur. I did a live for Shilo, the video for Shedeur, for Shilo. Let me get it. I did a live and a video for each brother. In my video to Shilo for his birthday, I showcased his talents, his boxing talents, especially him playing the piano. So Shilo Sanders, and I believe when Deion said out of all his kids, he does not need to worry about Shilo because Shilo Sanders has so many talents. He can play the piano beautifully. He can box, got talent. He can model. He can act. So Shilo Sanders, whatever he wants to pursue, anything he puts his hand on, he's gonna be successful. And look at his channel. He's also a foodie. He gives great reviews, and everybody loves Shilo. Shilo Sanders is going to be okay if he doesn't want to play in the NFL, or if nobody invites him to come back. Shilo Sanders is going to be okay. Yes, that boxing and piano. Okay, Donna. Okay, so starting next week, this is the time we need to start. And guess what? All they waiting for the combine to be over, right? Next week is all about undrafted free agency. Okay. Let me pull this up because I definitely want to see. Now, going back to what Faith had put in the comment for the video last night, right, investors? Then I'm going to let you go in about 20 or 30 minutes because I don't want to hold your time. It is Sunday. But she had put in the comment of the last live I did yesterday. Now, what I didn't know is at the CU Buffalo Pro Day last year, when the media was there, they was being slimy and loose lips with their comments regarding Shilo and Shedeur. So now that I know that, it could be some other players. Who knows that? Because everybody, of course, they slipped down in the draft. Because I know Jimmy's supposed to be in 2 or 3. West being 2 or 3. All right, Proctor, stay on your feet. But I understand you got 352 pounds to control. All right, that was a field drill. Okay, the long pull. But I didn't know that the media was getting greasy and loose with their lips and very, they were saying some very degrading things, I guess, behind the scenes, depending on what word plays. But this year, if my schedule allows, I will be just like I am now, reviewing their pro day and listening to the commentary. Not the loose lip. Look, they was being, well, for lack of better words, they were saying slick things, the same things they was saying about Carnell Tate. I'm assuming that was going on, because now looking back on what happened in the draft, yeah, they were being messy. I will say this, messy. Yeah, and Shilo is hilarious. He has a very good spirit. Let me see when CU Pro Day is. And as we know, I did the video on that. Out of all the Colorado Buffaloes, none of them got invited. None of them got invited to the combine today. This weekend, none CU Buffs. And I think 10 had declared. Yeah, 10 had declared, including Salter. None of them got invited this year. Let's see, Colorado Pro Day. Oh, March 31st. March 31st. March 31st. March 31st. Let me look at my calendar. That's a Tuesday. Ah, gosh. So what I may have to do, I may have to record it. And I know I'll be on work travel that week. I may have to record it and just do commentary later that night. Gosh, I'll miss that one. But but I will record that and get my commentary on that. Let me just check the date again. I think I'm gonna miss that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna miss that. But we shall see. We should see Nestus. So as of now, the second group, and stands are empty. Oh yeah, the stadium is empty. So yeah, that's the last group. A lot of these, it was 55 O-line members that were invited to the combine this week, and we probably saw, I said 15. I say maybe I say 30. I say 30, maybe 15 in each group. Yes, during the last program, the commentaries. I will listen. I'm definitely going to record. I'm definitely going to record that. I need to see what channel. First of all, I need to see if it's going to be advertised, and then I need to see if it's going to be advertised channels, and we'll have to record it, and then I'll just have to do some homework in the hotel room, because I definitely I want to hear commentary and all. I want to see commentary and all. And then guess what? If they're not going to let's say record it for this year, because if you're interested in, because of the losing record last year, I heard that the spring game for this year for Colorado is free to the public. It's free. Last year they charged because they was in a better position. But this year I heard that it's free on April the 26th. So if you are in the Colorado, so Caleb Lemu, the official times. Logan Jones, his official time is 4:90. So now he's the lead. Oh gosh, but Caleb Lemu, his time went from 5 flat to 4:99. So there we go, Vestas. That's the official times. Oh, please hold on. Keep this up. Damn, they be moving too fast. So it basically gave me a chart of the best time for each group that appeared this year. So I may just go to the NFL website and actually get that chart. And hopefully I'll be able to use that in an upcoming video. But it's been some fast times this year. They made rude and inflammatory remarks about at their pro day in their face. Well, of course not in their face, but they had the nerve to make those comments in the University of Colorado area. My boy. Yes, doing the last. They sure did. Wow. The nerve of these people. Huh. All right then. All right. Well, I did see that 10 declared. So that if that's the case, if that's the case, it'll probably be a short pro day. But a lot of the players, so we do have to take into consideration, a lot of the players that would have been at pro day this year, they have already transferred out. So what we lost, 30 to 31, 32 players this year. So let's take in consideration the only players that will participate in the pro day are the ones that declared. I only heard it was 10 players. So it'll be a short pro day. So I don't know if that's going to be televised this year, but I do know, and this is what I was going to say. If it is not televised, I know there is one channel that will capture everything. He may not capture the commentary, what they narratives or whatever, smart remarks. But Bucky, I will be able to lean on Bucky's channel, well off video, and actually capture the narrative, get my commentary and review from his video. But with 10. I don't know if it's going to be televised or if we'll have access. Unless Bucky, I'm going to reach out to Bucky. I'm going to see if Bucky is willing to live stream it. If he's able to live stream it, be able to come back to the hotel room, review it, and get my commentary, okay, on air. I hope so. Yes, Bucky is great. Hey, yeah, but I'm not messing with the NFL no more. I have learned my lesson. Don't record nothing. Don't put nothing in the video clips. Not even the audio. They will do a copyright so quick, and you have to fight with YouTube, and they have to fight with them. So I'm not even touching anything of the NFLs no more. Exactly. I would ask Bucky. Okay, yeah, we need to ask him if it's going to be televised, and if so, what channel is going to televise it? What are they in the Big 12? So the Big 12 could televise it. They should do that for every school. So if that's the case, we got an outlet. If not, worst case scenario, we're going to lean on Bucky's videos, live video or edited video for all the commentary we're going to need. Only 10 because most of them left. The ones that would have been entering the draft, they left. Only 10. Only 10. Let's see here. Only 10. Yeah, that's what we saw. That declared for the draft. And I'm assuming if they didn't declare for the draft, they won't participate in pro day. I don't know. We shall see. University of Colorado players that declared for. Okay, let's see here. How many declared for pro day? Senior declared. Okay. That's a video. That's a 25-minute video. But the last report, an article that I saw, only 10 Colorado Buffaloes declared for the NFL draft. So we shall see. And none of them got an invite. So they're going to lean heavy on the Pro Day showcase. So we shall see. Now, one thing I do like, and I'm going to let you go, Vestas, unless y'all want to talk about some other things. They showcasing Kadyn Proctor again. 6'6". Yeah, 6'6", 352 pounds, ran a 5.22. God. See, we're going to need him, and based off the highlights, he is definitely a center. We're going to need him to open up that space to let that running back get for Shedeur Sanders to get through. If they do a quarterback, run a quarterback play. God, woo. In this particular play, I guess depending on what play it is, they may put him on the outside depending on what play it is. But good gracious, Kadyn Proctor, no wonder they looking at you, young man. Good, great. That's like a big bull in a uniform, in a good way. Good Lord. Yes, I'm wishing them the best. Bucky, keep receipts. Yeah, only 10. Only 10. But it would have been more if a lot of them didn't leave. But I assume, based off my assumption, a lot of them left based off they didn't get any invites. And if the combine is happening late February, the invites would have went out in December. Remember, that's when the invites would have went out, and that's probably when a lot of players from Colorado left in December because nobody got an invite from Colorado, and that was a telltale sign. they had to leave. So let's talk about Colton Hood, and then who else? Jordon Tyson. They left Colorado for 1 year. Colton Hood just left Colorado the year before. He went to Tennessee. He went to Tennessee Bolts, right? He's at the combine. He got an invite, and they talking about him as a first round draft. Let's talk about Jordon Tyson, who left Colorado also, I think the same year as Colton Hood. Guess what? He got an invite, and they're talking about him as a first round draft pick. Now, that's lets us know that Colorado, Deion Sanders, his recruiter, his scouting team knows exactly what they're doing, but these players are not getting the opportunity that they need to because the head coach is Deion. These players, when they saw that nobody got an invite, I'm pretty sure they got scared and they was thinking about their profession. Totally understand that. They left to go to schools to get these opportunities. Yeah, they don't want to give Deion Sanders credit, but guess what? With Colton Hood, I did not see, when they was running trailers on him, I didn't see not one trailer on him that included that Colorado Buffalo uniform. When they ran trailers on Jordon Tyson, even though he didn't run, he did participate in the field exercises yesterday. Out of all those trailers, I did not see not one glove at Colorado University. But guess what? On his resume, one thing they cannot take away from Deion Sanders, that both of these players that are going in the first round, Deion Sanders stamp is on those players. Because Colton Hood played more years for Deion Sanders than Tennessee's ball. So the media can spin the narratives all they want. They can try to attempt to wipe out Deion Sanders and what Deion Sanders did for these young men. It would never happen. However they want to spin it. The resume is the resume. It is what it is. Can you see the bias and the disrespect? Most definitely. And I'm gonna go back and see if I can actually see last year's pro day. I do, if it's out there somewhere, and I definitely want to hear those remarks. Just like the live yesterday, I think any of the potential replays, they have already cut out the boos that Kevin Stefanski got. They probably already cut out some of the remarks. If not, they're dumb. The remarks they made about Carnell Tate. But I am going to do a short on that. But I wish I hope they're dumb and kept that stuff in there so I can go back and make a short and transform it in a way where I don't get a copyright, because some of that stuff that they said about that young man, it was very disrespectful. They hate Deion. Yeah, I heard the boss. They can hate Deion for whatever reason. But I tell you one thing, they may hate Deion, but guess what? The NFL is trying to make it right with the Deion Sanders family, because they know they got a lawsuit and litigation out this world. And so I think they're trying to make it right. Bucky, out of all the people, think about it. Bucky, a content creator on YouTube, has access to any game he wants to film on the sideline. Somebody's gonna pick up Shilo Sanders. Bucky Sanders. Bucky Osakin Sanders Jr., a YouTube creator, content creator, has access to the NFL sidelines. And the people in Cleveland was mad because of, listen, the NFL, I don't care if it's the Cardinals. I don't care if it's the Jets. It's going to be hard for me to believe that nobody's going to offer Shilo Sanders an opportunity, undrafted free agent contract, because they're trying to make it right with the Sanders family. That's the only loose end. I can't see it unless Shilo Sanders doesn't want to play. I can't see that happening. I'm sorry, viewers, investors. You better say it. Listen, Cleveland went crazy when Bucky was on the sideline. They was like, how is that even possible? I wanted to say the same thing that everybody else said. Did you even apply? Did you even ask? Could you, since you report on Cleveland Browns, did you even ask? Did you even request a media access pass be on the sideline? Bucky got that. And if Bucky had it last year, he's going to get it this year. That's Bucky Sanders we talking about. Only person they need to make it right, Shilo Sanders. This is his time. This is this year. Shilo Sanders. Shilo Sanders. You better say, I'm trying to tell you. So, investors and viewers, I'm not going to keep you any longer. But if you want to stay here, put something in the chat. I'll continue to talk. But as of now, everybody's leaving the stadium. They're still running. Oh, he's from Georgia Tech. He pretty good too. Hey, they moving so fast. Why they moving so fast? But listen, any team in the NFL, look, if they don't get a Fano, they don't get Fano, they don't get a Morris, they don't get a Markel Bell, they don't get a Lumo. It's still some good quality O-line members. The only weakness I've seen in the O-line, all of them that participated this year, they got to get faster. That defensive teams that's coming out of college are super fast. All of them did not beat one tackle or one edge. They got to get faster. Now that the combine is over, all O-line members, if they have people care for them and they schools, who on the field coordinator, whoever is their line coach, position coach. Okay, hey, based off your time, you beat nobody in the defensive tackle or edge. You need to get faster. They need to go ahead and put them on the track. Go ahead and start working on their speed because they have beat nobody. Nobody. Defensive tackle, edge, DBs, safeties, corners, they got to get faster. The O-line has to get faster. They got to get faster. And believe it or not, like I said before, Myles Garrett has to get faster based off the times in the combine. Myles Garrett, he had 3 players that was faster than him, and they 3 or 4 players with the same speed as Myles Garrett. Because why he got to get faster? Tony talks vested up. You only called out 6 to 7 players that was faster than Myles Garrett or had Myles Garrett speed, because you don't know what teams are going to pick up these players. And let's say out of the 7, let's say the Steelers picked up 2. Let's say the Bengals picked up 2. Let's say you got the Bengals, you got the Cleveland Browns, you got the Steelers. Who else is in the division? And the Ravens. So let's say the Ravens picked up them 7 players. They would pressure Shedeur Sanders every game they play. The Ravens got 2 games with the Cleveland Browns. The Steelers got 2 games with the Cleveland Browns. The Cincinnati Bengals got 2 games with the Cleveland Browns. That's a total of 6 games out of 17 weeks that Shedeur Sanders would be pressured. He would be going against a Myles Garrett 6 out of 17 games. That's a lot to deal with. Myles Garrett got to get faster in order to simulate Shedeur Sanders, the opponent that he's going to be going against. Those, let's say, 6 games. If Baltimore pick up 2, Steelers pick up 2, the Bengals pick up 2. Exactly. They know they're coming to see Shedeur. Jenkins, I'm retired, so I'm ready for the video that he put the people in the seats. I even bought. Okay. I bought my first. Well, I think the first jersey I ever bought was Wilson. That's when he was with the Seahawks. Long time ago. The NFL realized the global. Yes, I'm out till Tuesday, so I'm glad to listen. Sylvester's. That's it. Next week is undrafted free agent talks and signings next weekend. Sylvester's. Until then, I'm gonna go get something to eat, relax, and then I'm gonna come back do my homework because I got the run times, but now I gotta get those wing times, those wingspans inches. And once I do that, I'll be coming back tomorrow afternoon and discussing the run times, of course, but I also have to take in factor that wingspan because we need them. If they get around to be able to grab them and pull them down or push them back, we need that. And I need to see how much they bench press. Because if a D lineman, let's say if a D lineman is 340, let's say 340 pounds, right? And you are on the offensive line, right? And you only weigh 309. You got to fight 20 to 30 more pounds in your arms. I got to see how much you at least go bench press. So there's other factors I do have to consider before my commentary next tomorrow on these O-lines. I enjoyed it. Hey, Mita Lee, I enjoyed it too. Hold on. Andrew Berry name I came up. Andrew Berry, better get this. Let me tell you one thing, Fake. Let me tell you one thing. Andrew Berry, and I'm going to leave you on this right here. Almost. Andrew Berry said, moving forward, everybody have an annual evaluation. Okay. And he said, including himself. So, like I said, if Andrew Berry wants to mess around and play around and don't get an O-line member and number 6, or if they trade up, whatever the case may be, they first pick better be an O-line. Wide receiver, we could take some gamble on that, but that'll be the second thing that we need to address. First round should be O-line, wide receiver. Second round, O-line, wide receiver. God darn it! Hold on. I wrote down the positions that we have. Oh my! Hold on. Let me Google that because I got too many papers to go through. And investors, I'm gonna let you go. Yeah, then I'm gonna let you go, investors, because we got 10. If Andrew Berry said we got 10, no, Google said we got 10, but I heard Andrew Berry said 27. But let me tell you what rounds we got picks in. Whatever rounds it is, O-line, wide receiver, O-line, right receiver. And then in the third round, we definitely need to pick up a tight end. We need to focus on tight ends, O-lines, and wide receivers. Taller wide receivers. Cleveland Browns, 2026 NFL picks. Sometimes you have to look over that. Okay, NFL draft picks. Numbers. Let's see here, because I know they got two in the first round. Now look at this. This thing saying 14 total. No. Hold on. What? Oh, okay. Hold on. I see what my mistake is. Give me 1 second. I put the wrong number in. Okay. So I could be right. So right now we know that we got round 1 pick 6, round 1 pick 24. That was from Jacksonville. Total picks is 10, including additional picks in 5, 6, and 7. So we don't know where that's going to land. I wanted to give you more information. Okay, let me go to the round 1 pick 24. We got a second round pick, third round pick, fourth round pick, fifth round pick, fifth round pick, 6th round pick, and 7th round pick. So maybe those additional picks was, I guess, slots for undrafted free agency that they can work on. And Andrew Berry did say that they're going to be focused on free agency also this year. So there we go. We got 2 in round 1. Round 2, we got 1. Round 3, we got 1. Round 4, we got 1. And round 5, we got 3, 1 and 6, and 1 and 7. So there it is, Vestas. We got homework to do, but we will be continuing to watch from the sky. So there it is. Right. We may have to plan a game day for the Vestas. Okay. Listen. Okay. Look, my mind is running. Trust me. Once we get the dates and stuff, you never know. The rest of the year, yeah. Everybody enjoy the rest of your weekend. Everybody, yes, enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Great show. Thank you so much, Faith. We may have to. Hey, if not this year, definitely next year. Right. Shedeur Sanders survived last year, but it's time to thrive. Hey, I like that. Guess what? I'm going to leave on that note. I like that. Shedeur Sanders survived last year, but it's time to thrive this year. God, you know what? Let me write that down. Down, face. All right, that down. Thrive next year. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. All right, investors. Well, you're hearing from me tomorrow. The live's not going to be that long to cover a lot of information today, but I definitely need to get those Wingspans and find out how much they bitch, and that'll tell a lot, okay? So, investors, until next time, make sure you get your notes, your drink, and your vest, because we stay vested up today. And I'll see you tomorrow, investors, okay? Thank you so much for all the engagement, and thank you for finding me after the internet went out on that first live, because I enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got a lot of notes and things to consider, because undrafted free agent and whoever, If they start letting us know who get drafted before undrafted free agents sign contracts before the draft, we have more to talk about. And trust me, they're itching to go ahead and get that conversation out and get those picks in. Go ahead and lock in those undrafted free agents. Because remember that's how they got Kenny Pickett last year. No, that was a trade, but that's how they got Joe Flacco before the NFL draft. So we shall see, Vesters. Okay. All right, Vesters. I will see you tomorrow. Okay. And I enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Vesters. All right. Talk to you next time.